First game in 10 days for both teams. You were saying it yesterday at practice. I think they're tired of scrimmaging against each other. They are just glad that Big 12 play is finally here.
Yeah, somebody in a different color uniform that they get to go against. They're going to see a lot, maybe a little sloppy play early on these first 7 to 8 minutes, and then the teams will settle down. We should see some really good basketball the rest of the way.
Michael Greenstein, Antonio Petty, and Brooks Wells, the officials. UCF controlling. Keyshawn Hall, such a big pickup in the portal, travels on the Knights' first possession.
Well, how about that interior defense shutting down that driving lane, causing them to drag that pivot foot.
We take a look at the starting lineup for Texas Tech at 9-2 coming in. Elijah Hawkins, the Minnesota transfer at point guard. McMillan and Williams, the holdovers. JT Toppin, you saw his numbers off the top. And Kerwin Walton, the sharpshooter, started his career at North Carolina.
Yeah, keep an eye on McMillan. His kid has absolutely been on fire from behind the three-point line. More on that later.
Four to shoot here for Williams, who can facilitate over the 7-footer, and Williams banks it in over Mustafa Cham.
Yeah, guy only averages 4.3 blocks per game. He had to put a little bit more air under that ball. I don't think he called bank, but he'll take the result.
That counts the same as you see the UCF starting lineup. This is tapped out of bounds. It'll stay with UCF, which has won 5 straight, Scott, since taking both of their losses at the Greenbrier tip-off in West Virginia just before Thanksgiving, losses to Wisconsin, and then LSU in triple overtime.
Yeah, Ted, but this is their first true road test. Coach Johnny Dawkins is a little concerned of how his team might handle the pressure being on the road.
Toppin in transition, he puts it in against Cham.
How about that fast break? Get it off the glass, get your big man using his wheels, running right down the middle of the lane, and they find him in transition for the easy deuce.
Now, Toppin has been practicing in full each of the last 2 weeks. He's missed the last 4 games. Ivy Curry misses the 3, offensive rebound for Hall, and he threw it away. Hawkins on the break, and Hawkins couldn't get it to drop. Loose ball, and Texas Tech has it. Yeah, Johnny Dawkins in year 9 as the head coach for UCF. Scott, to your point, yeah, first true road test for his team this year. He said he hopes that his defense and rebounding can travel from Orlando.
Yeah, and he wants his leaders to really go out there and set the tone. Johnny Dawkins, 313 career head coaching victories, so he knows his stuff. He knows how to settle his team down here on the road.
Williams, long range, off target, and the rebound for Hall. Ivy Curry again off the mark.
I like that little action, little dribble handoff off the right side. Curry had a good look from that right wing.
Hawkins give and go with Toppin. Lost it out of bounds to UCF. A turnover by Texas Tech. So at practice yesterday, Scott, you told Grant McCaslin, Texas Tech's coach, hey, you guys are off to a great start. You're shooting it lights out. He says, yeah, we're okay.
Yeah, only 3rd in the nation in field goal percentage, and he downplayed his team's effort. But he wants this, like TTW, that's his motto. Toughest team wins, and that's the way he coaches.
Darius Johnson, the 3-year starter at point guard, draws the foul for UCF, and he's headed to the line.
And when I say tough, it's not all about physicality. It's also the mentality of the basketball player as well. But look at the use of the pump fake. Getting a couple Texas Tech Red Raiders to bite on that pump fake. Good opportunity to get yourself to the free throw line. When you're having trouble scoring, no better place than get off the schneid when you get to that free throw line.
Johnson, 82% on the year, puts UCF on the board. Johnny Dawkins calls him a stabilizer this year, especially a team with 11 newcomers. Listen, that is college basketball these days. You have a new team every single year, but Johnson has been that leader for the new guys.
Yeah, really has. He's the chief thief on this team, DJ. He ranks 3rd in the nation in steals with over 3 a game. Are you kidding me? That's amazing. So he's a ball hawk. You see him right now doing his thing in the backcourt, forcing Anderson to give up the ball.
You see the numbers for Johnson in UCF's last game, a win over Jacksonville 4 days before Christmas. Federico in for the first time. He missed Texas Tech's last game with a shoulder injury. Still playing with that wrap. Williams works against Cham, and Cham affected the shot. Here's Hall, the transfer from George Mason, a mismatched player at 6'7", and Hall banks it home against Williams.
Oh, beautiful drive. Well, Hall was shut down the first time he went down that left side of the floor. He said, I will not be denied. Twice goes right back to that nice little lefty hook off glass.
Texas Tech 2 losses this year by a combined 6 points against St. Joe's, against Brooklyn, and then against Texas A&M in Fort Worth. That banker goes in for Christian Anderson, the freshman from Atlanta. Man, has he made an impact immediately.
Well, you don't really see a lot of freshmen get a lot of time, but this kid is trusted by Coach McCaslin, and he gets a lot of minutes early in the basketball games. Result.
Hall again on the take, and Hall puts it home. So back-to-back buckets for Keyshawn Hall.
How about Hall? Once to the left, and then you get him thinking, okay, this lefty wants to go left. He's gone left on me twice. The next time you snap it back, and you go down that right lane line, catch everybody by surprise.
Kevin Overton, the Drake transfer. He's had 17 points 2 of the last 3 games for Tech. 8 to shoot for Overton. A pull-up. Didn't drop. Debo Coleman the rebound for UCF. Coleman left it short. But he takes it right back. And a stoppage here.
I think we got a shot clock problem, I believe.
Well, it'll send us to an official timeout here on New Year's Eve. First conference game of the year, tied at 6. Skill set as a 3-level scorer.
Yeah, we asked him about a number of different players, and I said, hey, JD, tell us about somebody we haven't asked you about. And he was quick to highlight Keyshawn Hall. He absolutely loves what this kid does for his program.
You see the numbers at George Mason last year. He was second team All-Atlantic 10. Now moving up to the Big 12. And he helped UCF tie the score here, 6-6. After the first media timeout, the conference opener here on New Year's Eve. UCF in their second year in the Big 12. They were picked to finish last a year ago. Finished 7-11, went to the NIT. This year picked to finish 11th in the new 16-team Big 12. Ivy Curry shut off. Coleman with 5. And Coleman floats it in.
Well, you can see what UCF wants to do. The Knights want to get that ball as close to the basket as they can. 0-2 from 3, but boy, they're pounding them down low underneath. One of those 7 wins was against this Texas team, Tech team last year in Orlando. So you better remember Coach McCaslin was writing to his team about that. Look at his last basket again, one more time. Just Coleman, just putting a lot of pressure on the defense. I'm too big, too strong. I'm going where I want to be.
And Scott Coleman is the player who's been starting all year as Jalen Sellers, UCF's leading scorer a year ago, has been dealing with a back injury. Sellers just came back before Christmas. He'll come off the bench today. But Coleman's given them valuable minutes.
Yeah, I asked Coach Dawkins about that. And there he goes again. Inside one more time. There's the Knights. Hall. He is doing some damage, just wrecking havoc in that black painted area. I asked Coach Dawkins about Sellers, and he said, I'm going to start him. He said, no, I think I got the chemistry to where I got it right now. Team's rolling. Let's bring him back slowly.
Tie up there. Out of bounds to Texas Tech as Chum and Federico were tangled up.
Yeah, a little bit more about that Sellers situation, too, is because the young man's handled it well. When you're the leading scorer from a year ago, you think, okay, I'm back. You're going to throw me in the starting lineup. He's handled coming off the bench real nicely. In fact, he's up off the floor right now. I'll get ready to check into this game.
Right on cue, Sellers wearing 24 in black is in, and a turnover by Texas Tech as Chance McMillan was ready to fire. You know, Sellers for UCF was 4th in the Big 12 in scoring last year at 16 points a game. Missed all but one game in the non-conference with a back injury, the same back that bothered him for part of last season. But, man, he can fill it up like few can in this league. Yeah, Big 12 honorable mention, did a fantastic job for the Knights this season to come. Look to see if he's going to be aggressive or takes his time in this one tonight. He got a nice alley-oop jam early in his minutes in the last basketball game. Ball doubled, has to give it up. Sellers, the quick pass. Coleman knocks down the triple. What a start for UCF on the road here. Well, after a slow start, it's been a 13-2 run for the Knights. Toppin on the interior. He puts it in with a foul. JT Toppin back in the lineup in a big way for the Red Raiders.
And just down there like a Mack truck, flexing his muscles around the basket, handles this pressure. Look at all my young ballers out there. When you get that contact underneath like that, find the glass. The way Toppin finds that glass, it softens the shot, allows you the concentration, an extra half tick to be able to find the spot on the backboard where you want to be able to make the bucket and go to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
It's Toppin's first game, Scott, in 32 days. Missed the last 4 games with a knee injury. Came down wrong on a 2-on-0 drill in practice. But Toppin has been back to practice the last 2 weeks in full. No minutes restrictions for Toppin today. Crowd wants a walk. No whistle on Sellers. Johnson the step back over Hawkins. And Williams pulls it in.
Yeah, Texas Tech can get some stops if they can keep them out there on that three-point line. They can't keep allowing the Knights to bang them down low.
Hawkins thought about the 3. Instead, feed Toppin down low. Working against Coleman. The kick. And the 3 by Kevin Overton. Tech within a point.
Beautiful basketball. I love that inside-out action with the cross-court pass, finding the shooter wide open on the opposite side. This time they get the travel, back-to-back stops. We got ourselves a one-possession basketball game. There's one more time. Coming down here, throw it into your big guy, JT Toppin. That lefty surveys the defense, and he just fires a strike to his shooter right there on the left wing.
So the 3 by Overton, the three-point play by Toppin, a little 6-0 run. Oh, Toppin grazing the front of the rim. He's trying to work on that three-point shot to improve his draft stock. Only 2 made threes on the year. And a foul called here as Johnson hit the deck.
Yeah, it's kind of that fine line that these younger players got to watch, walk rather. Yeah, they want to improve their skills, show people what they can do. But if you're just a beast and you're banging them down low, why not feast underneath before you start shooting too many outside shots?
And Grant McCaslin has told Toppin, hey, I have no problem with it as long as it comes within the flow of the offense. If it's a great look, take it. We trust you, but don't hunt for threes just because you're trying to improve your draft position.
Yeah, save the improvement for the summer. If it comes naturally in the flow and it's good for the team chemistry, then by all means, fire away.
Tech can retake the lead here. Hawkins finds Toppin trailing, and Toppin puts Tech on top.
Well, that's just that pick and roll that Toppin sets that little mid-screen. His defender has to go with him. He just rolls right to the basket behind him. Great find. Toppin delivers. Toppin's on a hot streak.
An 8-0 run for Tech. How about Chom from 7-2? The three-pointer for the freshman from Senegal. Just his 3rd made 3 of the year.
Are you kidding me right now? The South, he's 7th in the nation in blocks. He's not be able to shoot threes as well, but that's the new world, right? These big guys stepping outside, knocking down triples.
Overton off balance, and Sellers comes away with it for UCF. Tech gets back defensively. Ivy Curry trying to get on the board. Poked away by Anderson. And last touch by Tech.
Ivy Curry really trying to get down that lane line. It looked like there was a lot of skin-on-skin contact, but I love the fact that the officials are going to let him play a little bit here in this basketball game today.
Johnson the drive against Hawkins, and Johnson all the way to the cup. And a timeout for Texas Tech and Grant McCaslin. Elijah Hawkins getting an earful from McCaslin.
Look at Texas Tech doing a nice job, Toppin with the little jump hook. And then the big fella stepping out behind the arc, showing his range.
Country last year in Minnesota, Overton, Federico, Green. And this team off to the 9-2 start as they start conference play today, Scott. The computers love them, even though Grant McCaslin's team doesn't have that signature win just yet.
Yeah, 9th in net rankings, as you see there, 15th in Kim Bomb. I love the scoring margin, getting after teams, 23-point scoring margin. And, it's like we mentioned, 8-0 at home, trying to make it 9 today.
Down 4 against UCF here in the Big 12 opener.
Hey, we said Johnny Davis said he'd play some zone defense. They come out of that timeout with a zone look.
It's one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country. Williams on the interior of that zone missed it. And a foul called as Toppin was trying to come down with the rebound. It's against Mustafa Cham.
Yeah, that'll drive Coach Dawkins crazy. You go with zone defense so you can get some good rebounding. You just get pushed up underneath the basket by Toppin, and he gets on that offensive glass. The third offensive rebound now for the Red Raiders.
The runner by Walton. No. Oh, on the other side, Hawkins puts it in with the foul.
Well, I was just saying, you got to rebound your own defensive glass, and Hawkins on that weak side. Look, he does his work early. Nobody puts a body on him, and he gets the fourth offensive rebound. Gets following up Kerwin Walton's miss there.
Meanwhile, Jordan Ivy Curry, Scott, has his back turned to the play. He's like, what, you're calling a foul on me? But he undercut Hawkins there.
Yeah, Jordan Ivy Curry right now is struggling to get off that launch pad. 0 points here in his first 9.5 minutes.
And Hawkins at 5'11", always the smallest player on the court. He got up there. Johnson swatted by Toppin. Loose ball and a foul.
You think Coach McCaslin did light a fire under his guys and tell them to stop letting them drive down to the heart of our basket. JT Toppin with those 7 points gets his first block tonight.
And Scott, that's number 2 on Cham. And this is big for UCF. Last year, one of the elite defensive teams in the country, they had depth on the interior. That's not the case behind the freshman Cham this year. He's got to sit with the 2 fouls.
Yeah, and he was limping off the court. Coach Johnny Dawkins is asking him if the young man was okay. So something to watch as he gets his little rest period on the bench with those fouls.
Rokas Yotsus takes his place, the transfer from LaSalle. Williams working inside. And out of bounds to UCF.
Yeah, UCF is trying to jump with the Raiders right now around the defensive glass, and they have been burned twice now. Almost gave up another one there, clinging to a 1-point advantage, but suddenly their offense seems to be stuck in mud.
Johnson the kick, Sellers the sidestep, and the triple. Jalen Sellers hit from just 30% from 3 last year. He's much better than that. Man, he can give UCF some life offensively.
How about that? Guy who's been out all season long comes in here, pressure-packed moment on the road, and delivers a big 3.
Toppin the lefty, using his dominant hand against Yotsus.
Yeah, you got to take away something that the big fella likes. He loves that right shoulder turn to that left hand, and right back the other way for the bucket off glass.
Benny Williams, the Syracuse transfer. Johnny Dawkins spoke glowingly of what he has brought off the bench this year. Got to think. Chance McMillan fires, missing a 3. Thought that Tech would work it inside again with Cham out of the game. Yeah, certainly worked with Toppin the last possession.
Chance McMillan, one of the top 3-point shooters in the country, second in the nation, and he shot that one a little further out than I probably would like for his first attempt, but he's got that kind of range. 5th year now, had him at GCU when he's about 150 pounds. He's put on like 20 pounds of muscle. But how about this one more time going inside? They have got to do a better job. Texas Tech has got to do a better job of keeping the Knights out of the paint.
Now, so Ivy Curry, you see double-figure scoring in every game this year, has his first point now today at the 9:56 mark.
Well, that's what it takes when you're struggling and you can't get anything going for either lack of getting shots up or missing the shots that you have gotten up. Get to the free throw line. All those young players out there, it is the best way to be able to visualize a ball going through the basket and work on your stroke.
So Juice, Ivy Curry, a couple at the line, and it's a 6-point lead for UCF.
Kind of a game of mini runs, right? Like UCF had that big 13-2, and then Texas Tech comes back with a run of their own, and now all of a sudden UCF on a 6-0 run.
Anderson the lob. Federico with the alley-oop.
That was a thing of beauty, work to perfection, the high handoff. One of the prettiest plays in basketball.
I think the shoulder for Federico is just fine. Now the strip. McMillan on the break. Missed it. Hawkins the follow. Loose ball. And Texas Tech will still have it.
Chaz McMillan really got poked in the eye, but how about that high handoff the last time down? You got to love that. Little pick. I'll set a great screen, so my guy's got to help. When he helps, he can't recover. You throw the ball up at the rim and let me throw it down.
Scott, you're right. McMillan was blinking his eyes rapidly after he got poked somehow on the break there.
Yeah, I think it was on that layup attempt. He got banged just a little bit. Like I said, the refs were letting him play. I think he took a finger to the eye.
Stays in. Hawkins the floater. He draws the foul. Sellers was trailing. Hawkins so tough to keep up with.
Crafty, right? Like he turns that corner and realizes that he's got an advantage. Doesn't settle for a long distance shot from the top of the key. Keeps probing the inside of that defense and gets the whistle.
He's third in the Big 12 in assists through the non-conference, 5.5 per game. A pass-first point guard for Grant McCastle, who said yesterday the one thing that they're talking with Hawkins about is Sellers heads to the bench after picking up the foul. We want Elijah to be a little more efficient. He has a tendency to over-dribble, put up bad twos, turn it over. They're working on that right now.
There's always a work in progress as these players try to figure out their roles.
So a 2-point game, 9 to play first half. You see more Big 12 action on the way today as Yotsus with the jam. Yes, BYU Arizona State on ESPN2 coming up at 3 Central. Yotsus playing a big role right now with Chum on the bench with 2 personals.
Yeah, but Hall is having a game. He's spoon-fed his big man down there with that penetration along the baseline.
Overton up top. Oh, Federico couldn't flush it this time. Got it back, and he still puts it in.
He wasn't going to be denied twice, and that was a nice play. Sometimes players have a tendency to hang their head after a missed shot that they should have hit. He stayed right with it, got it back the second time, and delivered for his team. Back to a 2-point game.
Hall lines up a 3 over Federico. Keyshawn Hall with 9 points for the Knights.
Yeah, he is playing. Like he went down baseline, drove that ball down there. Next time defense wants to give him an extra half a step of cushion, and he says, oh, okay, you won't leave me open behind 3? I'm going to make you pay.
Anderson was trying to locate Federico. Finally does. Oh, Federico has another bucket.
Again, Anderson getting the defender on his backside, put so much pressure down there. What a bounce pass in good hands by the young big man, Federico. Catch that ball cleanly.
McMillan, another steal. Numbers for Tech. McMillan, no, but a whistle.
Chaz McMillan has been a thief and has bolted to the basket, this time catching the foul, going to the line. We got ourselves a ball really well around the basket.
Yeah, missed the non-conference finale against Lamar with a shoulder injury. The game before, Scott, he had a career-high 23 points and 12 rebounds against Oral Roberts.
Yeah, on 11 of 13 shooting, so high efficiency as you're seeing here early tonight.
And Keyshawn Hall has had a big first half for UCF.
Like this kid, 4 for 4, he's knocked down 1 triple. He's set his teammates up out there, constantly putting pressure on the defense by driving it to the basket. Never seen this kid. I like what he's doing.
McMillan at the line for Tech, just scored his first point. 1 more. Player you know quite well, Scott, having called a lot of his games at Grand Canyon University before he transferred here.
Started at GCU. Like I said, he was a scrawny little freshman out of California, and now he's out here. He's got to say he's built. He's a fully grown young man.
Sellers, open look, no. And Mikey Williams flying in for the rebound. Foul is called against Texas Tech. The talent, the buzz around Mikey Williams, undeniable. We get another look.
Look at the bunnies by Williams as he gets went down awkwardly in that little split situation there and bounced back up, thank goodness. It could have been worse than it was, but good player to keep an eye on. Kid scored 77 points in a high school basketball game. You kidding me?
Didn't play last year at Memphis. Legal troubles, well documented. Fresh start, second chance here at UCF. Yotsus off target, loose ball, and off Anderson to UCF.
I'm not sure, but it looked like there was a couple UCF players both battling for the ball underneath here. Let's see. No, I guess Yeah, Texas Tech, yeah, it went right off the leg there.
Sellers stopped the dribble and finds Hall, 10 to shoot against Darian Williams. Fun matchup here. And Hall off the spin puts it in. First man in double figures today.
Hey, you can't play better defense right there than Hall was getting, but sometimes you just got to pat a guy in the backside and say, hey, your offense was better than my defense.
Oh, Federico fumbled it. And Sellers clear the runway.
Oh, Sellers now getting into it here. Gets the rip away, the breakaway basket, putting the Knights up by 5. 6.5 to play.
And the ceiling just raises with Sellers on the floor now for UCF. His second game of the year. Williams, again, no Chum on the floor with the 2 personals for UCF. And Coleman pulls it in for the Knights. Ball is in the air there, no whistle. And Williams on the attack, whistle blows.
Right here, you want to get high percentage shots, you want to disrupt the offense, you get a takeaway. And Sellers, he is lickety, split quick. Clicking that thing the other end, but the left-handed finish. I always like when the guys with the lefties, when they finish, it's something different visually when they cock it up way up over their head and thunder it down.
Now Williams at the line for UCF, a product of San Diego. He was arrested in April of 2023, charged with firing a gun at a car full of people. Initially it was a felony, became a misdemeanor, 1 year of probation. Johnny Dawkins said, we did our due diligence. He has been terrific on and off the court with us. He deserves the second chance. The Mikey Williams I know, different person. And here he is with UCF. Toppin off the window for Texas Tech.
Yeah, Toppin's doing his darn thing out there, crushing him down low, round that basket, going back to Mikey Williams. I love what Coach Dawkins said, that last part you highlighted, right? Hey, kid deserves a second chance. I give him a clean slate. He's been nothing but perfect.
Yotsu Snow, offensive rebound for J.J. Taylor, Williams' high school teammate at San Ysidro in California. Taylor was also in the ESPN 100 throughout his high school career. 7 to shoot for Hall. Hall has been hot, stumbled, and a foul. With under 4 to shoot, it's against Darian Williams, and that's his second.
Yeah, 16 fouls, so it'll be side out of bounds. But again, with the short shot clock, Hall doesn't panic. He doesn't hoist something up off of one leg from distance. He keeps driving that ball to the basket. Putting that pressure on the defense, gets that foul. Now he get a new shot clock, 20 seconds to work with.
And Williams has had a tough first half. He takes a seat. Tech. Coleman trying to body up Anderson. Left it short, but another foul.
Well, you called it. And it wasn't the foul on the wrist or the arm. It was that body contact. All that lower body physicality here got into the shooter, throws him off balance. Look at that, just little hit there, sliding up underneath him while he's in the air. The officials, whistle for it.
2 shots for Coleman, as UCF is now in the bonus, shooting the rest of the half. And both of these teams really good from the line. UCF gets there so often. You see just the volume. Top 10 in the country in free throws made per game.
Yeah, 77% is getting after it. That's a lot of time in that left. You don't just have players that are good free throw shooters. Coach makes them go in the practice facility and get 100 up every day.
UCF has matched its largest lead here in the Big 12 opener. Open look for Overton. In and out.
Yeah, we haven't seen many threes fall tonight. Just a couple. Hall's got one, but one like you would think of.
Tech's 1 for 6. Again, one of the very best from 3 this season. And a travel by J.J. Taylor. A turnover.
Yeah, they could have traveled. They could have 3 seconds down there as well. Great stop defensively by Texas Tech when they really needed one. Got to make sure that they don't let this deficit balloon to double figures. Love that sound by Coach Graham Clausland over there. Talk about his team. Go rebound. Get on that glass.
You could put that on repeat as Toppin misses off the window. Taylor from the corner. Oh, Williams soaring. Couldn't control it. Chance McMillan does for Texas Tech. Overton working inside. He floats it in with a foul. Well, if the three's not falling today, why don't you attack? Yes. Kevin Overton headed to the line for one more.
Attack that rack, absolutely. And I love this one here because it's transition basketball. The threat of the three-point shot, just with that that little stage there, wasn't even a head and shoulder fake, but you square your body to the basket there on that catch. All of a sudden the defender comes flying at you. You just go right on by him for the three-point play. We got ourselves a two-possession game. When it looked like things were going badly for Tech, they're right back in it.
Hall has 11. And now Hall has 14. Another triple for Keyshawn Hall.
Man on fire, 2 for 2 from behind the arc, as you said, his second triple of the game. And they're just giving him too much of a cushion. He's been driving it down their throat. They're giving him too much of a cushion, and he's knocking down the triple.
Toppin's got 11 to lead Tech in his return from injury. Backing down Coleman. Way too much on it. Federico on the weak side.
Oh, Fetty. These two bigs working well on that glass today. I love that right there. Toppin, now that's not his strong shoulder. They made him go back to his weak hand. They took away his little lefty when he wanted to get to. But you got to put a body on Fetty on that weak side glass.
Feed Hall again. Oh, still good.
Toppin can't believe it. He says, I'm in the guy's face. And he knocked it right down.
Keyshawn Hall is 7 for 7 from the floor and 3 of 3 from downtown. It's the largest lead for the Knights. Six to shoot here for Overton against the freshman Taylor. Overton from deep. There's an answer for the Red Raiders.
The Red Raiders needed that one, right? Like you could just see the momentum of this game is starting to change. Knights were trying to take control. And that big three's got the crowd back into the game.
Back into the hands of Keyshawn Hall, who's got 17. Toppin on him. Johnson the drive. And Johnson forces it in.
Wow. Amongst the trees. I thought for sure it was going to be a block party down there waiting for Johnson as he drove that in. But he somehow craftily snuck it around all those outstretched arms and banged it off the glass for 2.
Under 2 to play first half. Federico looking for Toppin inside. 7 on the timer for Hawkins. Against the bigger Williams. Got around him. And Hawkins uses the left to score.
It's all the little guys going inside, right? They don't want to shoot triples tonight. They want to show that they can play amongst the trees.
Timeout for UCF. They lead by 5. Well,
turnovers. And then Coach McClaslin is always concerned about taking care of that basketball. He understands he's got a new backcourt out there. They're still working how to play with one another. So he's worried about the defense, letting the guys penetrate in the middle. And you're seeing some of that today. And then valuing the basketball as well. And he wants the toughest team to win, both mentally and physically, when he's out there on the floor.
I don't know what you're talking about with Chubb. You look quite svelte when you hit a half-court shot yesterday in between practices.
I still got it. That was my 3rd attempt, too.
Yeah, only the 3rd.
That's too bad.
I can vouch. I was behind the camera. Johnson among the trees, couldn't finish this time, but a foul is called.
Well, Coach Davis, when they went through their walkthrough in the ballroom today, must have emphasized we are going to try to pound the ball into the paint every opportunity we get. Time and time again. It doesn't matter the size of the player. They are going at Texas Tech in the middle.
Oh, I mentioned that you hit a half-court shot. Let's check out the footage.
Yeah. And listen, I'm working working with a torn meniscus in my right knee right now, so I had to jump off my left, which I don't normally do. So I'm going to take my third attempt going down as a successful trip to half court. I still got it, baby.
You got 3 rings. You absolutely still got it.
Phil Jackson used to fine us for shooting 3-pointers back in the 90s. You know, he was holding me back. If I'm hitting them from half court, I should have been shooting 3s when I was a pro.
And you and Bill Cartwright.
Nobody would pay to see that. Take the ball out of Jordan's hands for us to shoot 3s. Kidding me?
Texas Tech turned it over. UCF gives it right back with the walk. 1:01 to go. Johnny Dawkins' team up by 6 here on the road. Their first true road game of the season. They've been led by Keyshawn Hall. 17 points here in the first half.
Well, Texas Tech needs a bucket here. They need a bucket and a stop to try to gain a little of that momentum back that they have lost.
McMillan only 2 points in the first half. Toppin big in his return. Off the mark. Hall the rebound.
Great box out by Hall. There's Knights running.
Sellers, awkward angle. Toppin got it. Loose ball now. Who touched it last?
Looks like they're going to give it to Texas Tech. Well, listen, it hasn't been a perfectly played first half. We've seen some turnovers. We talked about the long layoff for both teams, the holiday break. Sometimes when you don't have that competition to go against, it gets a little sloppy at times.
Yeah, each team with 7 turnovers in the first half. Under 30 seconds to play now. Toppin's got Johnson on him inside.
Yeah, it's own defense here.
8 to shoot for Hawkins. Toppin the screen. Now they feed JT Toppin. Toppin lost it going up. And out of bounds. 1 second on the shot clock. Still Tech ball.
The fans wanted a foul. They thought Toppin got hit in the shoulder. But like I say, these officials, they're letting them play here in the Big 12. I like it. It's old school basketball.
Darian Williams back in. That long break as he picked up the 2 personals. He'll trigger in. Got to be quick here. Hawkins. And Williams clears it. Final seconds. Johnson the heave. Just inside half court. Couldn't hit like you did yesterday. But it's UCF by 6 at the break to start Big 12 play.
Hey, listen, I love the action out here. It wasn't perfect basketball, but these 2 teams are playing hard.
Johnny Dawkins and UCF up 47-41. Coming up, let's take an inside look at the bond between Chance McMillan, Darian Williams, and a look at the Tech retreat.
The team was really struggling, starting to lose connection with the Knights. He came up big, blocking shots in the interior with 2 blocks, got his team out and running in transition, got Fetty going. The bench came in there with 19 points, with Kevin Overton, and Fetty has 17 of those 19.
Yeah, you see UCF 57% from the floor in the first half. And Tech held below what they usually shoot, which is among the elite in the country.
Yeah, 3rd in the nation at 51%, but that first half was rough for him.
Here is Keyshawn Hall after 17 in the first half. The kick to Chum, who had 2 personals in the first half, played only 9 minutes. Good look. And in and out for Coleman. Got the back tap. And a fresh 20 for UCF.
8 offensive rebounds now for the Raiders.
A wild attempt there and out of bounds to Texas Tech as Hall was on the drive. Johnson tried to save it.
I thought Johnson was going to go over the front row of seats. The effort that he made to try, but he pulled up at the last minute, realizing that ball was not going to come back into the field of play.
Somebody just got orange juice delivered here. Thankfully, that was saved. Otherwise, that would have been all over your nice black suit.
It would have splashed all of us. You would have got some on your gray suit too, Pards.
A little bit. Johnson trying to save it again. He tapped it out. It will stay at this end. He's trying to bounce it off a Red Raider. 15 to shoot for Texas Tech. Well, Darian Williams didn't have a good first half. He was in foul trouble. 2 points on 1 of 7. And Williams gliding to the bucket for 2 right on cue.
Yeah, he said, I hear you over there, Ted. I'm going to show you I can take this thing to the rack.
Taking it to rack at the other end, Jordan Ivy Curry, and the tip-up try is good for Mustafa Cham.
Yeah, he sat on that bench so long. He said, I got to get back into the action here. Wasted no time. Shooting class, gets his second chance points.
Cham reclassified, originally a member of the class of 2025. He could still be in high school right now, instead of freshman, and playing his first Big 12 game. Williams again, not this time.
Ooh, look at that man Hall. He's got that rock looking to attack.
Cham against Toppin. Now Hall from the outside, a swish, and the 4th 3 of the game for Keyshawn Hall, who's got 20.
Yeah, a perfect 8 for 8. You got to get on Hall. I think they're afraid of his driving ability, but he's got this stroke from the outside working tonight.
Largest lead of the game for UCF. Toppin on the interior. Count it, and the foul against Cham.
Too big, too strong down there. You got to step up, not allow that entry pass. Look at this back to that three-point shot out of the corner. Got to get a hand up in his face, run him off that three-point line, and then look at Toppin. Just so patient down there. Collects the ball, doesn't hurry, gathers his power and his strength, handles that contact with a concentration and a finish. People don't realize, I think some of the young bigs, they think that 3-second clock is just ticking so quickly. You got a lot more time down there than you realize. Be patient.
Missed the free throw. Cham remains out there with the 3 personals. So Johnny Dawkins letting him play through it at the moment. Ivy Curry hits the turnaround. His first made bucket at 2 points from the line in the first half.
Yeah, Ivy Curry got stuck on that launch pad, and UCF was still able to pull out the lead, but they're going to really need him in the second half as Texas Tech's going to tighten their defense.
Williams gave it away. Now Juice Ivy Curry from long range. Williams steps into a 3. Oh, way off.
Back-to-back, really bad three-point shots.
And he's a good three-point shooter, too. Johnson off balance. Cham, yes, and 1.
I'm not 100% sure if Johnson wasn't really trying to lay that thing up for his partner over here. Look at the way he sends that back over the front of the rim where it's easy for Cham to go collect that ball as he sees Toppin come over to try to help. He just sends it right back over the top of the rim. Allen Iverson never did that for me when I was playing with the Sixers.
He wasn't passing to anybody.
No, 30 shots a game. You wasn't giving that thing up.
Well, when he's scoring 30-plus a game, yeah, can you really gripe with it?
Well, I think he ended up in the Hall of Fame. I think he did all right for himself.
So UCF with a double-digit lead now, early second half. Christian Anderson. Too strong. And Texas Tech put Anderson, Federico, and Overton back on the floor. Those 3 gave Tech a spark in the first half. And a whistle here.
Yeah, whistle down low, wrestling with Hall underneath, and just a little too much physicality. The officials trying to clean it up a little bit. That first half was really physical, but you can see down there, just paddling underneath with Hall Overton saying, we're not going to let you keep beating us up.
And Scott, that's a point of emphasis this season, just like it was last. The displacement foul in the post and calling that consistently. A called timeout here, and we'll step aside as UCF has its biggest lead on the road in the Big 12 opener. All day tomorrow, New Year's Day, for the college football playoff quarterfinals. Here, the start of Big 12 basketball play. UCF up by 11. It's their biggest lead on the road here in Lubbock. Mustafa Cham, the 7'2" freshman, knocks in his second 3 of the game. He had 2 threes all season coming in.
My goodness, I would have thought after he banked the first one in, I'd say if he shoots another one, I'll eat part of my stat sheet. But he went back out there, coming out of the timeout. Coach Davis draws up a 3 for him. Nobody saw that coming.
I hope you like the taste of paper then. Hawkins, no. And UCF clears it. Johnson, the veteran point guard, has to back out against Federico. By the way, Chum playing through the 3 personal fouls as well. Johnson on the attack.
Johnson, one of the smaller guys on the floor. Everybody and their mama taking it to Texas Tech into paint. You got the big guys shooting the threes. You got the little guys attacking inside. It's like a role reversal. This is Freaky Friday.
It's a 14-2 run for UCF, and Federico with the slam set up by Anderson.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed that out because that was a beautiful delivery of the basketball. Bounce pass down low, away from the big guy, and he gets a turnover.
Hawkins fouled by Darius Johnson.
Yeah, Johnson was trying to cut behind Hall as he was, Hawkins as he was racing up the floor, and he just tackled him rather than tripping him.
Boy, fans want a flagrant there. We have a timeout, and they will take a look at it because you saw Johnson wrapped his arm around the head of Elijah Hawkins. We'll step aside as the officials take a closer look if there's anything more here.
Previous play is under review.
Michael Greenstein just about ready to give us the call.
After review, the common foul has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul as the foul is deemed unnecessary. Number 3 will shoot 2 free throws, and Texas Tech will get the ball just inside the half court with a clock like 30.
Yes, Scott, so 2 shots in the ball after the flagrant foul is called on UCF's Darius Johnson.
Yeah, you know, at first I think Darius Johnson's trying to make a play from behind, to rip the ball away, and then he decides, okay, well, I'm not going to get there. I'm going to get fouled. And when he tries to hold Hawkins up, he hits him in the face. And it wasn't malicious, but that's the trigger. And anytime you hit a player in the face, they're going to whistle you for a flagrant foul.
Yeah, the wording in the rule book is Hawkins hits the free throws. He would have cut the lead to 12. An act that's unnecessary or avoidable, and especially anything that's above the neck, they're going to take seriously.
Johnny Dawkins doesn't like it, but at the same point in time, the rules are the rules. And look at UCF back cut on that zone defense to try to disrupt.
Toppin right in the middle of it. Missed it. McMillan the offensive rebound. Shot clock resets to 20. UCF had built a 16-point lead. Federico trying to go high-low. Ivy Curry diving for it. Still Tech ball here with 6 to shoot.
UCF zone defense is effective, but they're not rebounding cleanly on the first attempt. But there was only, like you said, 6 to shoot.
Into Anderson, the freshman, against the senior Darius Johnson. The floater, McMillan. Way too much on it, and Sean clears.
Yeah, that time Sean left no doubt. He ate that glass and left no crumbs.
Hall has not missed. The fall away over Toppin. He is still perfect. 9 for 9 and 22 points.
Stuck on automatic. They cleared Chom out of that right side low block and just let him operate.
Anderson off the mark. Boy, Toppin's had a tough time with Keyshawn Hall today. Hall setting the screen. Off the pick and roll. Hall's first miss, and Toppin with the rebound.
Yeah, it came because there was a lot of body contact, but I love that. Officials being consistent in the way they're going to call the game from one half to the other.
Open look for Toppin. And Sean the rebound. Now Toppin hit a 3 in the first half. Now Johnson. Oh, a rainbow triple for Darius Johnson, and a timeout for Texas Tech. UCF, Scott, is up by 17. Their biggest lead today.
Yeah, I love this. Look, here's a little handoff, and I'm just going to set a big screen. You shoot it like you're shooting it out of the top of a phone booth. All you young guys out there don't know what a phone booth is, but you get a high arc that thing up to get it over the top of the phone booth, which is charm, and you find nothing but the bottom of the net. Clicking on all cylinders. If it's not Hall doing damage, attacking inside, or shooting trees, it's the bench doing their job off the pine.
Now Johnny Dawkins said it coming in. Yeah, I feel good. I feel like we are ready for Big 12 play. Remember, they started the season with a court storm, the win over a ranked Texas A&M team. And by the way, that win just looks better and better. It's an Aggies team that beat Texas Tech earlier this month. And UCF at 9-2. No, they're not highly ranked in the net. Certainly not ranked in the top 25, but what a performance to this point in the Big 12 opener.
Yeah, he was real confident about his team. I asked if they were looking past Texas Tech to Kansas that's going to come visiting Orlando on the 5th. He said they better not be. He got his team focused tonight, and they really taken this crowd out of this basketball game.
It's a pretty good crowd, all things considered. Here, still during the break for students. Overton against Hall. 8 to shoot. Back to Overton. Maneuvering around Hall. And last touch by UCF.
Well, great defense initially. They did not allow any penetration. They couldn't get that rebound cleanly, but at the same point in time, really doing a nice job staying in front of the ball handlers.
Tech has not scored in 2+ minutes. They're 0 for their last 5 from the floor, and here's a foul on the perimeter against BBall Coleman. That's his second. Anderson downhill, cut off by Yotsus. Toppin. And Toppin muscles it in. That's where Texas Tech has to go right now.
Right, you go to your leading scorer, 18 points a game. You let him muscle a bucket in around that painted area. I didn't like when Toppin shot that 3 earlier. It's like, you're my biggest, strongest guy. Go bang inside.
Oh, Hall trying the one-legged fadeaway again. Didn't work this time. And out of bounds, heading the other way to Tech.
He'll get Toppin one more time, right? You know, you put him down there. He loves that right block. Spins baseline away from any held defense and then squirted it over off the backboard and the rim into the basket.
Now 15 points in his return from the knee injury. Missed the last 4 games of the non-conference. Hasn't played since November 29th, and he looks like himself.
He looks good, right? I say one bad 3. Given the score being down by nearly double figures, I wouldn't have shot that one. But everything else has been good, really good decisions in handling the contact down low. Here he goes again, operating underneath.
Doubled, and he walked. Oh, Yotsus collaborated with Hall defensively, and it's a turnover.
He switched his pivot foot on that one. I didn't see the walk. Let's see if he, hop step, and then he had established his pivot foot and he hopped out of it. Good call by the officiating crew. They've been on it tonight.
And now foul as Hall hits the floor.
He's holding that left knee right below the knee, though. Maybe they just bang knees down there.
Now, you hear the crowd not liking. Let's take another look here.
Oh, look at that. He just comes in, hits it inside of Hall's knees. And those are the ones where you got no flesh. It's like getting hit with a fungo bat. I know about that. I tore my meniscus last Monday just getting groceries out of the car.
Did somebody hit you with a fungo bat while you were getting groceries?
I wish I had a better story, like I was skiing or something, but yeah, torn meniscus, talked to the doctor on the phone. They can't even shoot me up. I'm playing hurt over here with your partner.
Yeah, you're toughing it out. UCF threw it away there. I mean, Phil Jackson always commended you for your toughness on those Jordan Bulls teams.
They used to shoot me up all the time. They don't shoot players up anymore. But those shots, they used to hurt. But they got me feeling no pain at game time.
McMillan, no, from distance. Crowd wanted to travel there on Hall. By the way, Chance McMillan, 2 points on 0 of 4 shooting. Came in averaging 16 a game. Giltsus over Federico. Oh, no chance.
Yeah, McMillan's got to get going. He's a top 10 scorer in the Big 12. They need him right now. Start putting some points on the board.
Say the same thing about Darian Williams, who's 2 for 10 with 4 points. Short. And Mikey Williams comes away with it for UCF.
Yeah, I guess at some point we just got to give the Knights credit defensively. They have targeted their 2 players that they wanted to try to take out of this basketball game, making somebody else beat them, and nobody else has stepped up.
Sellers got Federico off his feet, and he buries the jumper.
Oh, I love the hair. I love the head and shoulder fake. You get the guy up off the feet. You take one dribble to your strong hand, pull up at the free throw line. Sellers is a player.
You love the hair. Are you jealous?
Jealous. Oh, big time jealousy.
McMillan, there it is. His first made field goal.
Well, right on cue, right? We're saying, hey, we're under 11 to play. You're down by double digits. You got to look to your top scorers.
I mean, Texas Tech had dipped under 40% shooting as a team. And a blocking foul called. Crowd wants the offensive foul on Hall. It's a foul on Tech.
Yeah, look at Sellers. They list him on the program at about 6'2", but with all that hair, he's playing big today.
UCF, the best kind of win to bolster the tournament resume. They got one to start the season at home against Texas A&M. This would be another to improve that resume as they try to make it back to the tournament for the first time since 2019.
I'm really impressed by this Johnny Dawkins coach team. They have come in here, they have handled the loud crowd. They were operating together. They found their hot guy in Hall. They're riding him, but they're getting great contributions defensively. They're shutting this Texas Tech team down. It averages 81 points a game. They shoot 51%. They're 3rd in the nation in field goal percentage, and they are struggling to put the ball in the basket.
Hall turns it over here. It was initially ruled a tie-up, but it is a turnover by Keyshawn Hall. Scott, the crowd here in Lubbock was booing the entire 2+ minutes that we were away. They really wanted that offensive foul on Hall instead of Kevin Overton picking up his 3rd.
And then you come out of the timeout. You turn the basketball over. I could just see you looking over at Coach. The frustration on his face right now, realizing his team's not giving the effort that he thought they would bring tonight.
UCF has built this lead without much from their leading scorer, Juice Ivy Curry, just 4 points, and he's fouled from the perimeter here. It'll be 3 free throws for Ivy Curry as Anderson picks up his 4th.
The Cardinals sin. You want to challenge the outside shot, but you don't want to commit the foul. Let's see if there's any contact here. Just gets up underneath Ivy Curry. Second time we've seen that today. Didn't allow him to come down and gets that foul call. This crowd is not happy with that call, but it's the correct call.
So Ivy Curry did kick out the leg there. You got to be careful as the offensive player there, but I think there was contact there from Anderson up top, right?
Yeah, he was up underneath his body space, even with his legs going out. You're not 100% sure. Do the legs kick out because of the contact? You got to give the player a chance to land. But Ivy Curry's been struggling. Like, why are you closing out on him so tightly that you would even give the officials the opportunity to whistle you for the call? Now I wonder, 10 minutes ago, these 3 from the free throw line could be what gets Ivy Curry going.
Saw Anderson heading to the bench. Hawkins back on. UCF by 18 at the midway mark of the second half.
Didn't see that coming.
Man.
We watched both this team. We said Texas Tech in practice yesterday. They look intense and ready to perform, but they are just not getting it done. They cannot stop the Knights.
Tech was a huge favorite coming in. McMillan rolls to the basket, counted in the foul.
Well, okay, you put the ball in the hands of your 5th-year player, Chance McMillan, who Chum knows is one of the top 3-point shooters in the country, and then closes out a little too fast. Doesn't measure Chance McMillan's speed to the basket.
And Scott, Benny Williams comes on. Chomp, he was playing well with the 3 personals, picked up that 3rd early here in the second half, but he's got to head to the bench now with 4. And McMillan completes the 3-point play.
The good news for the Knights is they've been doing a great job defensively, even when Chomp's been on that bench.
Sellers just his 2nd game of the season. Ivy Curry launches. And the rebound for Overton. Hawkins has the big Williams on him. Darian Williams, the lob. Federico, the finish.
Design play for the lob. You get that pressure along the baseline. Big's got to come over and help out. You can't give up the layup, and then just throw the ball for the high handoff. And look at this crowd. Nothing like a jam to get the crowd back into it.
Johnson deflected and stolen by Williams. Hawkins back to McMillan. Texas Tech on the comeback trail.
Johnny Dawkins needs a timeout quickly. This place is going bananas. Take it along the baseline. You throw it up for the jam. Then you come back. Find your partner, a little give, and I go to the rack, and you throw it up, and let me throw it.
Tech has scored 7 in a row since trailing by 18, their largest deficit today here in the first Big 12 game of the season. Ted Emmerich, Scott Williams, our entire crew. Can Tech keep it up? Sellers working against Overton. Tech's best on-ball defender. Way off, and a rebound by Toppin.
Well, I know what Johnny Dawkins wanted to do. He wanted to get the ball into the hands of his best player. But look at this blown defense assignment.
And Hawkins all alone for 2. The lead is down to single digits.
Oh, that's exactly what Tech wanted, right? Good defense leads to some easy offense.
9-0 run for the Red Raiders. UCF hasn't scored in 2 minutes. Williams fumbled the lob by Sellers. Williams in transition. No. And it'll stay at this end. Last touched for the Knights. And a timeout with 7:35 to go. Tech within 9.
Can't talk as good as you want to on defense, and then you give up the easy bunny at the basket. 38 points in the paint for Texas Tech. A plus 14 has gotten them back in this game.
And Grant McCaslin's team has the ball coming out of the timeout. Trying to cut that deficit some more. Into JT Toppin, back on the floor for the first time in 30-plus days. Toppin with another bucket. He's got 17.
Making 40 points in the paint. They did not take away the left hand of Toppin, and Toppin made them pay. Everybody on their feet.
Lead down to 7. Johnson the drive against Hawkins. Wild shot and a foul called. It's on Hawkins, his 3rd.
Well, they really tightened the defense up. Let's go back to this one more time because it's just so pretty when those lefties throw that right shoulder into the defender, create just enough separation to throw the left-hand hook over the top. Johnson, though, back the other way. Team really struggling to score. Didn't settle for anything outside. Well, team by Coach Dawkins, you don't get 313 victories by not knowing how to be on the road and handle a rally by the home team. So he tells his team to attack inside, sends Johnson to the line for a couple freebies.
And a team with 11 newcomers. Johnson is that stabilizing presence. He's now got 14 points to go with 4 assists. And the lead back up to 9.
9, but a lot of time left. 7 minutes is an eternity in college basketball.
Toppin working against Benny Williams. And Toppin puts it in with a foul. J.T. Toppin back with a vengeance coming off injury.
Going straight beast mode. Putting his team on his back. Just using fantastic footwork down in the low block. Takes his time, gets one defender to bite on a pump fake. And then, again, how many times have we seen Toppin handle that contact and still concentrate and get himself to the free throw line?
It's the free throw. Loose ball. Corral. Darian Williams. And timeout granted.
Oh, they got the timeout before the jump ball.
Yep.
Smart play by the other. Williams is battling for the ball. One of his teammates, I think, is the one that called the timeout.
And the hustle play by D5, Darian Williams, who has struggled mightily offensively. You know, Tech had this video series as we get another look. Define yourself. All the key players on the team. Define yourself. And what Darian Williams said, instead of saying guard, forward, whatever, he said, I am whatever you need me to be. I am about winning. And this is what he's talking about.
Yeah, that's a winning play. Those are the glue guys, right? Like, not afraid to dive on the floor, skin his knee or his elbow. Do whatever it takes. Coach McCaslin talks about the toughest team wins. Well, right now, the last 10 minutes of this game, Texas Tech's been the tougher team, and they're clawing back into this.
From down 18 to down 7 with 6:50 to go here in the Big 12 opener. Back in the hands of Toppin. And the repost against Coleman. And a foul.
Yeah, they put big Coleman down there, like two Brahma Bulls wrestling down there on that right block. Try to put a little more beef on Toppin, but a little too much physicality. Official said, okay, enough is enough. Side out of bounds. Excuse me, baseline out of bounds.
Third on Coleman. Next foul on either team puts the other in the bonus. Hawkins for 3. Coleman skies for the rebound.
I like that. Big, wide, broad shoulders kept topping off that offensive glass. Texas Tech, 9 second chance points.
Paul has 22 to lead all scorers. 10 to shoot for Johnson. Guarded by McMillan. And Johnson, too strong. Coleman, the offensive rebound.
They're going to walk a little clock. They're working a little clock on these possessions.
Ivy Curry. Foul called against Tech.
Yeah, I think the foul's going to be on the floor. I don't think that was on the shot. There's a little too much forearm there. And both players banging with the forearms. So going to go to the line and shoot some free throws, but it'll be the one-on-one variety.
Yeah, they call it on Hawkins. Texas Tech's point guard. That's 4 personals now, the Minnesota transfer. So he's on the bench. Ivy Curry at the line, where he's 5 for 5 today. And he'll have one more.
That ain't easy. He's shooting right into the rowdy section here. And he has to concentrate, lock in, and knock those free throws in. They got smoke machines going off in the background. They're waving pom-poms. And he knocked them both in.
Yeah, Scott, that's usually where the student section is, getting students on break. There are a few that are here today. It's a great crowd, all things considered. But that place is usually packed beyond that basket.
That's my first time in Lubbock. I'm loving it.
Great atmosphere to start Big 12 play. Williams gets the turnaround to fall. He was just 2 for 12 from the floor before that bucket. Jordan Ivy Curry. And Toppin secures it, plus a foul on UCF. It's on Benny Williams.
Like I said, J.T. Toppin in this second half has just been a beast, but that one by Williams, they most needed it after giving up some free throws. Had to come back, get a bucket, because you don't want that lead to go back up to double digits. Got to keep that deficit in single digits to try to put the pressure on UCF. You see they've already slowed down their offensive attack. They're trying to burn a little more clock, but it's not leading to the easier buckets that they had earlier in the game.
1-and-1 for Toppin, and he missed the front end. Williams, who picked up the foul, has the rebound.
Toppin, that's about the only mistakes or problems that he has had tonight is the 3 missed free throws.
It's 1 for 4 now. Johnson got the step on Overton, and he finishes.
How fast is Johnson down that right lane line? I don't know if there's too many players in Division I that can stay in front of that young man when he is determined to get to the rack.
16 for Johnson. Lead back to 9.
Still a lot of time left, 5 minutes to play. Texas Tech does not need to start cranking up threes just yet.
Under 10 to shoot. Toppin on the block against Williams, giving up 2 inches and a foul. Some more free throws coming here for JT Toppin. Again, missed the front end a moment ago, 1 for 4 in the game.
Yeah, and again, 1-and-1s, right? So it's not the 2-shot variety. So if you're down low right now, like Coach Dawkins is like, that's not a bad foul because my player was in a bad way. Toppin was getting ready to throw that lefty hook on him, make him go to the line and show that he can make some free throws.
Toppin not a bad free throw shooter on the year, 77% coming in.
Glad to see he got that one. And it's like you said, Ted, they haven't had game action in a while, right? So, and especially Toppin, who's coming back from energy. Sometime when you got that adrenaline going and you're feeling a little fatigued, it's a little different than just shooting them in practice when you shoot 50 or 100 at a time. You got to really lock in, settle yourself in, knock these down. And he did.
Grant McCaslin wondered after the 32-day injury layoff, would the motor be running as hot as it has for Toppin? No problem there. 21 for Toppin, 7-point game. Hall. Benny Williams, Toppin the late closeout, and Williams puts it in.
Yeah, Hall has done a nice job finding shooters. I know he's got the assist numbers, but he has really done a good job when he's been cut off, firing a strike to one of his teammates and letting them work.
Now Toppin against Williams, late double. Toppin passing out of it. Oh, a circus shot for Darian Williams with a foul. D5 willed that in.
Yeah, and Johnson comes over to challenge the shot, but he gets up in the air a little too soon. I'm glad he's okay because he came down like a sack of potatoes. But how about the concentration by Williams? He spun that up Chicago style off the glass and spun it in.
Try that in a game of horse with a guy on your shoulders.
I hit the ground like that. You're going to have to call the stretcher to get me off the court.
Well, you are dealing with a torn meniscus.
Hold on if you're UCF Knights fans. This place is going bananas, and we got ourselves a 2-possession game with 4:03 to play.
Ivy Curry cut off. Hall gives it up. Williams blocked by Toppin. It'll stay with UCF, 10 to shoot after the official timeout. Texas Tech still has a pulse here in Lubbock in the Big 12 opener.
Toppin doing it on offense. Comes out, challenges the shot, says, "You shall not pass." Swatting it over to UCF. Yeah, I really love it, too. And it came alive because JT Toppin's doing his darn thing with the 21 points. He's got himself 5 boards and 4 block shots. And that last one just set this place on fire when he slapped it over the UCF bench. There's Hall right there, 22 points. He's only missed 2 shots tonight. Perfect 4-4 from behind the arc. Both those young men, give him an extra peanut butter and jelly sandwich after the game. That's what we used to get back in the day in the 80s. They probably get some sirloin steaks nowadays.
Hopefully more than that in 2024.
Ribeyes.
UCF ball, 10 to shoot out of the timeout. Chom is back on the floor for UCF, playing with the 4 personals. 5 on the timer for Johnson. He launches. Oh, and he makes it rain. Massive shot by Darius Johnson.
Darius Johnson with a big-time triple off the left wing. Coach Dawkins is down in his defensive stance, imploring his team to get a stop.
Williams down low, 2 for Tech.
Williams coming alive, big buckets inside, trying to get this team back to level.
Johnson again. Oh, Chum, he's already at 2 of them. An air ball this time. And out of bounds to Texas Tech. And yeah, Chum says, my bad. That really isn't his shot yet.
Not his shot, not for the time, right? Like in Johnny Dawkins giving him the double palms, like, pace yourself. Maybe when we're up and we got the momentum, but not when we're up and the momentum has changed.
You wonder if they'll attack Chum now, again with the 4 personals at this end with Toppin on it.
They're battling down low for position.
McMillan on the cut. Toppin fighting for it. And last touched by UCF.
Oh, these kids play hard. They really play hard. Nobody watching. Chance McMillan, he cuts down the middle of the lane. Couldn't get it to go. He's had 3 shots at the rim. He's disappointed in himself because he knows he's got to finish those.
Well, UCF was signaling like they wanted a review. Doesn't come. McMillan drills the triple. His first 3. The second best 3-point shooter in America. Finally, from downtown.
Well, you miss a layup. And you go outside behind the arc and stroke a 3, and we got ourselves a 4-point game.
Johnson stopped by Overton. He forces it up, and it goes in. Oh, Johnson wanted the foul as well.
Couple big buckets by Johnson. Oh, that's going to be it.
A foul as Chum was wrapping around Toppin. And yes, number 5 on Mustafa Chum. He's done.
Yeah, and that's the double bonus for Texas Tech. So I don't know if Chum needed to put that much pressure on Toppin that far out the post. But the kid seems a little rattled. He shot the 3, and they come back and trying to do the right thing and stop Toppin, but he commits the foul to send Toppin to the line for 2 shots.
Now Mustafa Chum, his day done. 10 points, 3 rebounds, couple of 3s. Ill-advised 3-point attempt a moment ago, but what a player he is going to be. Ranked 30th in the ESPN 100 after reclassifying to 2024. But all he can do is watch here for the final 219.
Yeah, on pace to break Taco Fall's freshman record for block shots with 70. He's got 28 block shots coming into the night. My whole freshman year, I only had 27 blocks, and I led the team in North Carolina.
Toppin at the line for 2. All around and out.
Well, let's see if he makes the right correction. A lot of players in pressure situations, when they miss that first one, they overcorrect. He missed that one on the left. Let's see if he doesn't come back too far on the right.
Got it this time. Toppin 4 of 8 at the line. 5-point game.
This is going to be a wild ride, these last 2:15. I'm here for it. UCF trying to burn a little of that game clock.
We wind under 2 minutes. Johnson has been huge down the stretch. Williams on the switch. The drop-off. Benny Williams, no. And Toppin clears it for Texas Tech.
Hall almost tipped that in with the left paw, but couldn't get it to drop.
They feed Toppin. Benny Williams on him. Hall comes over for the double. The swing to McMillan. Backing it out with 7. McMillan on the attack again. Almost lost his balance. Toppin the offensive board. That doesn't drop. Got it back. JT Toppin sticking with it.
JT Toppin is the beast. He's flexing his muscles. 2 offensive rebounds. We got ourselves a 1-possession game.
Hall on the drive, met by Toppin, swatted by Darian Williams out of bounds with 6 to shoot.
Everybody's standing up on this front row to my right. I can hardly see the action. Great offense, taking the ball to the basket. Great help side defense to knock it away from behind.
6 on the shot clock. Ivy Curry. And an offensive foul.
They got Ivy Curry for what you said last time on that three-point shot, kicking his legs out. Let's see if we can see what the official is pointing to. Watch his legs as he goes up to shoot. Is that a natural motion with the right leg? I don't think so. Whistle going the other way.
He's trying to draw that contact from Chance McMillan, and it's a turnover. Tech down 3. 42 seconds. Williams hasn't shot it well. Against Hall. Toppin on the other side. It's a one-point game.
Toppin with 3-0 boards down the stretch. 5-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Texas Tech doesn't need to foul.
So much for that 18-point lead at the 10-minute mark.
They do
foul called. Yeah, Christian Anderson, Scott, here with 20.7 to go.
Yeah, with just a 5-second differential, they looked over to Coach McCaslin, and he said, let's commit the foul and try to extend the game. Put Johnson on the free throw line. Darius Johnson this year from the line is an 81% shooter.
So Scott, he's top 10 in the Big 12. That's not really the guy you want to foul. Plus, Anderson is called for his 5th there. So he's out of the game. But Darius Johnson's the one who's going to have the ball in his hands, certainly for UCF.
Yeah, and with that disqualification, it allowed 30 seconds for Coach McCaslin to talk to his team. What he wants. Should they miss one of these free throws? Do we want to just go for a 2, or do we want to go for a 3 for the win?
It's a 1-and-1 for Darius Johnson. He's 5 of 6 at the stripe today. Got the friendly bounce.
Iron so kind because he short-armed that one, but he had just enough on it to fight it, and fought itself over the front rim and in.
And Darius Johnson has a team-high 23 points. The lead back to 3.
Yeah, Texas Tech is not calling a timeout. They're going to operate right here with 20 seconds to play.
Each team with 1 timeout left. Hawkins. McMillan rising up. An air ball. And out of bounds to UCF.
Oh, wow. They got the ball into the hands of the nation's second-best shooter, but he was not able to find the range. They're going to have to go for it still quickly, and if they don't get it, foul immediately.
And it would still be 1-and-1 for UCF if it comes to that. Into Johnson. There's the foul with 9.2. It's on Hawkins, and now Elijah Hawkins has fouled out.
Well, Johnson, so good at the line the last time. They decided, let's go ahead, put the ball in his hands once again. Little risky, inbounding the ball under your opponent's basket in a one-possession game, but Coach Dawkins has faith in his team that they would execute that baseline out of bounds play and get the hands into the guy that they want at the free throw line.
Now, Johnny Dawkins said yesterday, Darius Johnson has been vital as that culture keeper with all the newcomers on the team. This is a 3-year starter. Imagine that in college basketball today with all the player movement. Someone starting for 3 consecutive years at any school. That is Darius Johnson at UCF.
Yeah, that's like having a guy for 5 years. See if he can calmly make this free throw.
1-and-1. Got it.
Ice water in his veins. 3 for 3 from the line down the stretch, trying to salt this away, this road victory away for his mates. Darius Johnson, huge.
And he'll have one more after Texas.
Oh, because they could have broken. They bent, but they didn't break, and they're going to get this victory as a result.
Well, they would love Johnson to hit this free throw here to make it that 5-point game. And you think Think about the chance at a 4-point play. Wild things can happen at the end of regulation.
Sure.
Still 9.2 remaining on the clock here. And you see the numbers for Johnson. He's been so good at the line today, just like he has all season. Missed it. Toppin the rebound. A double-double for Toppin. Got to put it in here. Overton, the three, no, and now the game's over. Well, UCF had to sweat it out down the stretch. Built an 18-point lead, but Johnny Dawkins and his team do come away with a victory on the road to start Big 12 play. Quite the notch on their belt as they beat Texas Tech here in Lubbock, 87-83.
What a game here in Lubbock. I love the way both of these teams compete. I'm really impressed with both Hall and Toppin. Two phenomenal players. Going to be a lot of noise coming from those guys in the Big 12.
UCF ready to make some more noise in their second year in the Big 12. Hall with 22. Johnson led the way with 24. And the Knights now 10-2 overall and 1-0 in the Big 12. Thanks so much for being with us. Hope you enjoy your New Year's Eve. Enjoy some more Big 12 hoops on ESPN2 right now. BYU, Arizona State. For Scott Williams and our entire crew, Ted Emmerich saying so long.